Darwin Nunez, that's correct. The new name, the new one being linked to Arsenal Football Club after, missing out on Vlahovic. But the Uruguayan international who plays for Benfica, the number 9, 6'1", right-footed phenom right now. So Arsenal are going to end up losing out on Lacazette and Nketiah, but we'll hold a force on Lacazette for a moment right there. With Aubameyang now in Barcelona, is this the new phenom that can be linked to Arsenal, and could Arsenal now get this one over the line for a reported fee of 60 million? But before we get into that, my name is Ty Knight for TK24 Sports, and if you're new to the show, like, subscribe and turn that notification on so you don't miss shows every time we upload. But let's get back to Darwin Nunez. So this man is now burst onto the scene doing the Miko Richards, should I say, saying burst onto the scene, but this season is his most explosive one. Last season it wasn't as great with the amount of goals that he scored for the amount of games that he started, but this season is totally different, and we're going to get onto those stats a bit later on into the show. But why are you here? I'm here to tell you 3 things that are really, really promising for this guy should Arsenal end up getting him for the reported fee of £60 million. The first one is his height. Now, the reason why I go with the height straight away is because Arsenal do lack this right now with Lacazette. The second one is going to be his pace. This guy has pace to burn, and I mean burn. Number 3 is going to be his tricks. He has tricks in his locker. Now, people will be thinking, Ty, why are you not mentioning goals? And there's a reason why, because that's going to be the one slight topic we need to cover, and we'll get into that right now. Now, we look at his stats from last season. I'm going to bring it up right now. So last season, when we look at it, he actually played 29 games, started 19, scored 6 goals and had 9 assists. Again, when I'm telling you about his close control, his skills, and that's the difference, 9 assists. Bit like a Lacazette for this season, but he scores more goals, even though that was last season. But let's look at a transformation going into this season. Ready? Here we go. So now with this season coming up to 21-22, 22 games played, 19 started, 20 goals, 2 assists. So that tells me this, in the off-season, he just worked in his game and said, listen, I can score goals. We know I got the tricks, but the team needs goals for me. And for me to get myself to the next level, I need to score goals. And this guy scores all different types of goals. If you're not too sure, you can go on YouTube, pretty much what everyone else does, and go and look at the way he scores with his right foot or his left foot or a header as well. Look at the way he actually controls the ball. But like a Lacazette, he can bring people into play. He knows how to find people. But best of all, he can run into the channels. And that is what Arsenal need right now. Yes, we do have Martinelli or Smith Rowe or Saka or a Pepe at this moment in time in those wings who can run on the channels, but it's also good to have a striker up there so if the ball does go long, he can chase it in there and then bring others into play. The goals I've seen him score so far are really good goals, but most importantly, this season in the Champions League, he has done well. Did you know he was in the Champions League with Benfica? Well, check these stats out. So with Benfica in the Champions League, he has done really, really well. 8 games, 4 goals. No assists, but 8 games and 4 goals. He has scored at the highest level in the biggest competition in Europe this season. Bearing in mind, Arsenal have not been there, five seasons? So what we're looking at here is a player who can actually transform and bring Arsenal to the next level. But the reason why I also said about the Lacazette, maybe leaving, maybe not leaving, if Arsenal can re-sign Lacazette, still get to the Champions League, which I think they will end up doing, they'll have 2 good options. Lacazette, of course, coming off the bench with Darwin starting. But would Lacazette want to be the number 2 since he's been the number 1 for the majority of this season? Who knows? And if Lacazette goes, it's still okay. But Arsenal will still need to get another striker, not just rely on Darwin Nunez to come in and also Balogun to return. They're not going to look at signing or re-signing Nketiah because he doesn't bring anything to the table. But when I watched this guy play, he reminded me, last night I was like, bang, that's the guy he reminds me of, which is the one and only Zlatan Ibrahimovic. If you watch the guy's footwork here and you watch Zlatan's footwork, it's pretty much the same. The stature, the way they play, the way they bring the ball down, the way they do the turns and they're bringing people into play, plus getting around and creating chances for himself. And I think that's the big thing about this guy. He can create his own chances. And this is something that we've always lacked at Arsenal in the last few strikers. Aubameyang couldn't really create his own chances, if you think about it. Lacazette definitely can't create his own chances. And well, Nketiah, he says Eddie Nketiah, good player, but he's just not on that world level just yet. Well, and you know what I like to say about all world talent. I'm not saying this guy's all world talent, but it does smell a little bit of a Mihajlovic. Mihajlovic last season was great, season before not so great, but then this season he has been great. And this one is a bit like Darwin just here. And the reason why I'm saying his first name rather than his last name of Nunez, so I'm just trying to get familiar with the guy. But if Arsenal can get this deal over the line, it's going to be a great signing going forward, should he be able to adapt to the pace of the Premier League and the way that Mikel Arteta wants to play. But at this moment in time, it's all speculation, newspaper talk. But if everyone's running with it, then there's got to be something behind it. And no doubt, Edu is sniffing this one out, talking to him, the representatives. What does it need to be? What needs to happen to get this deal over the line? Talking to Benfica as well by saying, what are you looking at in terms of payment? Because that's going to be the big one. What's in terms of the payment? The wages is not going to be a problem for Arsenal. Pretty much Arsenal can go out and attain anyone that they really want to, should they wish to do so. And talking about that, make sure you tune in for the next show, because we're going to talk about the possibility of Paul Pogba joining Arsenal. Now, I mentioned this one already on the free transfer back in January, but I'm going to reignite this story because I think there's some legs here. And one other possibility transfer that may happen if Arsenal can get into the Champions League. I'm telling you, I don't want to say it, Erling Haaland. I don't want to say it. I just said it. But that's one worth tuning in for. Anyway, I'm Ty Knight for TK24 Sports. Thanks for watching. See you very soon.